In the dim glow of the emergency room, a woman is rushed in. Her name is Gloria Ramirez. Her skin has a strange, oily sheen. Her heart is racing. Her breathing is shallow, and a faint, garlic-like smell hangs in the air around her. This is the beginning of one of the most bizarre and terrifying medical mysteries in modern history. A nurse draws Gloria's blood. When she looks at the vial, she freezes. Inside, tiny, manila-colored crystals are floating. Then, a sharp, ammonia-like smell fills the air. The nurse feels lightheaded and faints. A second medical resident takes over, but she too feels dizzy and collapses. Then a third. Within minutes, the emergency room descends into chaos. Doctors stumble. Nurses collapse. The sound of respiratory alarms becomes a distorted echo. The situation is so dire that the hospital declares an internal emergency. The entire UR has to be evacuated. Patients are wheeled out into the parking lot, their gurneys lined up under the cold glow of floodlights, the hum of their life support machines breaking the night's silence. And at the center of it all is Gloria, lying on a gurney, drifting between life and death. Her body is now a source of both compassion and fear. What is happening? The night stretches on as a hazardous materials team, clad in full hazmat suits, sweeps the emergency room. They search the air for toxins, for acid vapors, for any kind of known chemical weapon. But their instruments find nothing. No pesticides, no nerve agents, no obvious culprit. The room is clean. Tragically, despite the efforts to save her, Gloria Ramirez passes away from complications of her advanced cervical cancer. But the mystery surrounding her only deepens. Her body is considered a potential biohazard. For the autopsy, she is placed in a special sealed aluminum casket. The pathologists wear airtight protective suits, their voices hushed as they work. They catalog the strange findings: the oily residue on her skin, the lingering garlic odor, and those inexplicable crystals in her blood. But they can't explain what caused the chaos in the ER. In the weeks and months that followed, scientists and investigators pored over the case. One prominent theory emerged, centering on something Gloria might have been using at home. It's believed she was using a solvent called DMSO, or dimethyl sulfoxide, as a topical home remedy for pain. DMSO is known to leave an oily feel on the skin and can cause a garlic-like taste or smell. The theory goes like this. The DMSO on her skin entered her bloodstream. Inside her body, it could have been converted into a substance called dimethylsulfone. This would explain the crystals seen in her blood. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. When the paramedics gave Gloria oxygen, and the doctors used a defibrillator, the combination of electricity and oxygen, along with the cooling of her blood when it was drawn, might have triggered another chemical reaction. It is hypothesized that the dimethylsulfone in her blood was converted into dimethyl sulfate, a highly toxic and volatile gas. A plausible chain of events. A simple home remedy, combined with standard emergency medical procedures, accidentally creating a chemical weapon inside a human body. This could explain why the medical staff around her, who were inhaling the air she was breathing out, suddenly became ill. The symptoms they report: dizziness, fainting. Breathing problems are consistent with exposure to a substance like dimethyl sulfate. But this theory, as compelling as it sounds, has its critics. The biggest problem? No one has ever been able to reproduce this chemical reaction under the conditions present in the human body or the ear. It remains a hypothesis, an educated guess. Not all of the symptoms experienced by the staff perfectly match classic exposure, and the amount of gas that could have been produced seems too small to affect so many people so quickly. This leads to another, more controversial explanation: mass psychogenic illness, also known as mass hysteria. Imagine the scene. A high-stress emergency room, a patient with very unusual symptoms, a strange smell, and then the first person faints. The power of suggestion, fueled by genuine fear, could have triggered a cascade of physical reactions among the other staff members. The smell was real, the fear was real, and so the physical symptoms, the dizziness, the nausea are also very real, even if they weren't caused by a toxin. Gloria Ramirez's official cause of death was kidney and heart failure due to her cancer, but her case became the stuff of legend. She is forever known as the Toxic Lady, the woman whose body seemingly became a hazard to her own healers. In the wake of this incident, hospitals updated their protocols. Emergency staff were trained to recognize and respond not just to biological contagion, but to chemical mysteries as well. The term toxic patient quietly entered the medical lexicon. The memory of that night lingers in the collective consciousness of the medical community. The smell of ammonia, the shimmering crystals in the blood, the eerie silence of an evacuated ward under the night sky. And it leaves us with a profound and unsettling question. Can a human body, under a rare and specific set of circumstances, become a source of danger? The case of Gloria Ramirez remains officially unsolved, a ghost that haunts the halls of medical history. It's a chilling reminder that science has its limits, and that mystery often resides in the places we least expect it, even within ourselves. In every hospital, every time a strange odor is noticed or an unexplainable symptom appears, the story of the Toxic Lady echoes. It's a story of caution, of wonder, and of a deep human dread. So, what do you think happened that night? Was it a freak chemical reaction, turning a person into a poison source? Or was it a powerful case of mass hysteria in a moment of extreme stress? We may never know for sure, but the story serves as a stark reminder that sometimes the person we are trying to save can, without warning, present a danger we could never have imagined. And in the quiet hum of a hospital, you can almost feel that question hanging in the air. What unseen chemistry, what trembling fear crossed the boundary between healing and hazard that night? Thanks for watching this deep dive into one of medicine's greatest unsolved mysteries. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown. See you in the next video.